Hello everyone, Rontro here, your favorite video game bounty hunter and one half of the Retro Bros, and I am here again with Prude. Josh over here, guitarist and vocals. We have Tony. We have Tony on bass, who actually has a microphone this time. Hello. Just refer to him as one hit wonder. And then we have Tyler over here, looking all Tylerish.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I didn't know I was supposed to look professional today.
He's looking Tylerish. So, you guys are back fresh from going to have some groupies tested for STDs.
Yep. Absolutely.
Made your way here. Didn't bring none for me.
Well,
Let's see how it is.
we didn't bring any for ourselves either. So
I do have a weird itch.
that's what we forgot.
And they probably got the clap and gave it to you. Anyway, so what has been going on since our last meeting, which was back in August?
It was July.
July. Yeah, okay. I knew it was July, August. What have you guys been up to?
Josh, you want to start that off?
Masturbation.
Masturbation.
Plenty.
I don't know. We're recording another album.
Yeah,
that's
our
correct.
second album.
Known as Prude 2.
Prude 2.
Yep.
Prude
Two.
2.
Because we're getting clever with our titles, right?
I mean, Moist Snuff. See, I'm going to call
Moist
it
Nuff.
Moist Snuff again. Moist Stuff was an epic title for an album. What's going on here?
We
We're
kind of just
lazy.
we got sloppy. We were like, "Do you guys want to do another album?" We're like, "Sure." What are we gonna name it? I don't care. Throw number 2 on it.
Led Zeppelin did that, didn't they?
Yes,
Like,
there was
Led
1, 2,
Zeppelin,
3,
1, 2, 3,
and
4.
4. Yep.
So we have permission.
And one of them was also known as Signs, I believe, or Zoso.
Yeah, that was the fourth.
Fourth one, yeah. It had a few different names. Let me think here. Off your new album coming up, what would you say your guys' favorite track is from it so far?
Somebody want to answer?
You can start.
No, I have.
I haven't really listened to the new album, so I can't really tell you.
What you've heard.
That's not a lot.
Just say vote for Tony.
Okay, vote for
We'll
Tony.
understand.
Vote for Tony.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is Miss You. It was the one that gave me the hardest time with figuring out a bass line, and
Right.
I just love it.
I did notice reading through the lyrics that Josh provided that this album's a little more all over the place as opposed to your first album. There was a lot of like love type stuff, love and loss type stuff, I noticed. This one actually seems to branch out a little bit with, I mean, you still got your love songs in there, and you still have, you know, your kind of crazy songs, and then you actually see like have what would be, I don't even know how to explain it, a normal song. I don't know how to put it.
Well, there's 11 tracks. I forget. When I had like to write this album, it was a lot of like songs in pairs. So this time around, it's kind of like if you ever see like the back artwork, and it's kind of, they're broken up into colors, the track names, and that's kind of like to symbolize, okay, well, we got this one here is like part 1, then we go into a couple songs later, and you get part 2 for that. So it's kind of like there's like trilogies, but they're not really. There's not 3. There's 3 main groups, but each one has like 3 to 4 songs to kind of.
Okay.
Where it goes by themes, I guess, is another good way to put it.
I guess what you're trying to say, if I'm understanding this correctly, you're basically telling a story somewhat with this album.
It's kind of like a mini concept. There's like concepts within, but the whole album itself isn't like a huge concept. It has like little tiny concepts that go through it. Like
Sort of like an implied.
Yeah, like there's pretty much just give it away if I can remember. The first like group of stuff has to do with frustrations without like kind of like getting these gigs in these bars. So that's kind of where songs like geriatric bands still suck.
Yeah, I liked reading that one.
And Sell Out. Those are kind of where those tracks came from. Like that goes back to that theme. The second group has to deal with, you know, the girl from the first one, where the first one was kind of like a longing to want to be with you, where this is kind of like we're moving on from that now.
Right.
So you're getting like the three. It's kind of like a trilogy. And I do know there's three with that one.
That's cool.
So it's basically going to be like Green Day's American Idiot, how it basically tells a story in a sense.
Yeah, but all the tracks to that one kind of told the story where the whole album concept, like I said, doesn't have like you start from here and you listen to it the entire way through.
Story the whole way through. It's multiple stories.
You have these little tiny stories that are going on.
Well, no, I was just
I
using
think it would
across it.
almost be like Dark Side of the Moon.
I think I was basically just
That's a
using
good
it as an
example.
example, not saying like
Yeah,
that's how it's gonna be
it's
done.
like that,
Yeah.
but it's not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a sense, it's like
Exactly.
Green Day, but in a sense, it's also not
It's like that, but
Green
it's
Day.
not.
And the third set is just your kind of random, stupid things.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't we have one called Rush
yeah.
that you had me
Yes.
do a bongo
Yes.
solo for, and it sounded like trotting horses, and then rain drops.
Yep.
It was
I
like the
look forward to
It
that.
was 21 minutes and 12 seconds. I had a.
and he practically had
It's
to,
more or less kind of sounds like a demo because the timing is kind of off on it, and I don't really want to go and redo it because I don't think I could.
You practically had to torture me to get it done because I can't stand Rush or anything that affiliates with it.
We probably will never be able to play that song live.
Oh, probably not. God no.
But I guarantee it.
And
It would take a lot to kind of replicate that.
And then whenever
Right.
you guys told me it was the time length was 21:12, I looked at you and I said, "Please don't ever make me play this live."
Well, if you're gonna have a Rush song, I mean, you might as well kind of
Well, I understand. that.
start
gotta
with
go
the
all out.
artist.
tribute it out, make
Yep.
it all right the first time.
Yeah, and you know you might as well go all for it because I mean, a few of Rush's songs, some of them are pretty lengthy.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
They're
Thanks
not
a-
afraid to go past the
Thanks
10
again.
minute mark.
Yeah, thanks
Right.
again, Josh.
Take up a whole side of an album.
What else can I bring up? You guys have an upcoming tour again here around the area. I've read that you have a few dates picked out.
Yeah, we have a couple nice dates. I mean, we're starting out with at the Patton Legion here in a couple weeks for April 7th. So that's kind of like our first, big thing. And then, we'll be stopping off at our normal grounds.
Roundabout area.
I think we're going to play at a friend's house or somewhere down in Johnstown. I don't know if that one's still in the mix, but we've had like a couple people kind of want to have us go and play like their smaller kind of like house party type things.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
private parties, stuff like that.
Well, not really necessarily private, but it's kind of they're not. Most of them aren't in like a bar or tavern setting.
It's mostly somebody's backyard, so
Yeah.
I think that's where we're the most comfortable at, is being in like somebody's backyard playing or.
We probably
Sitting
can't,
around a fire, drinking some beers. How about
we
it?
probably
Yeah,
casual.
exactly.
can't
like
say
something
that
like
quite yet, but
Me and
What's
Tony
that?
have done that. Sat around the fire and drank some beers.
That was fun.
That was the first time I ever met Tony, actually.
Yeah, well, you talked about the Star Wars prequels.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ugh.
Even before I realized you guys were gonna be a band.
Oh yeah, this was like
This was.
wasn't even a glimmer in our eye yet.
I think this was. I think that was before I even met you.
No, this
Was it after?
This was after high school. This was after high school.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember.
I had to say that in the mic. This was after high school.
It was after high school. Get it right.
Make it clear.
Get it right yourself.
What do you hope to accomplish with album number 2?
sell a lot of copies.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say that.
That's a pretty basic answer.
Go gold.
Well, I think we did go patent gold. I mean, you only have to sell like 3.
Two?
We went
Pat-
we went
Pat and
full.
gold.
We went
Didn't you
full
get an
gold.
award of
We
the
went-
worst band in Patton?
We won patent platinum.
Yeah.
You have to sell 10 copies.
We got
That's
we
patent
got
copper.
the award worst band in local area.
That's right. We did.
Yeah.
We won that award.
We were the only ones nominated for that award.
And we nominated ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't self-imposed.
not at all.
Self-imposed. You had me put our name in the box, and then you had Tony draw the name out of the box. There was one
But
sheet of paper.
Also, I think we're going to do a couple more Facebook Live streams.
Those are always
with our-
fun.
I missed the first one.
Yeah, that last one was in December.
Yeah, December 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely missed that.
Was that the one where Tony?
One of
was
these days, I will make a gig
Tips.
one way or the other.
Yeah, because, well, for most of our stuff, we're not going too far out of town, so I can always, come and pick you up and
Yeah.
take you to anything. That
trying to
or,
think.
I did sign up to become a member at the Legion, so if you wanted to even make that one, I could sign you in.
That'd work.
Doesn't matter.
Trying
Just
to
let me
think
know.
of some other questions I can ask you guys.
Tyler has a fan, did you know that?
Tyler has a fan.
Oh, the fan
Yeah, yeah.
story. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
hear the fan story. I want to hear the fan story.
All right, so I was at Walmart yesterday, doing some grocery shopping and shit like that, and there's this one guy. Now, I want to try to say this as politely as I can. He had to have some kind of learning disability or something like that. Well, he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, I know you." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And he's like, "I know you from Facebook." And for those who know me, like I have like a high anxiety thing. So it's like when somebody says they know me from Facebook, I get like kind of freaked out. Or if somebody says they know me and I don't know them, I'm like, "Oh, okay."
It's kind of like a creepy type thing.
Yeah, it's like and I
Freaks
was like,
out.
"Okay, well, how do you know me from Facebook?" He's like, "Well, you're on one of those band pages." I was like, "Yeah, I'm in a band." And he's like, he's like, "You're part of the Dead Fly Guys, right?" I was like, Dead Fly Guys. I was like, "You mean Prude?" He's like, "Yeah, that's it." I was like, "Oh yeah, what's up?" I was like, "Yeah, I play bongos for the band and stuff." He's like, "Well, can I have your autograph?" I was like, "Yeah, buddy, sure." I was like, "It's cool." And the person who was with him, she's like, "Well, he's not bothering you." He's like, "Oh no, he's fine. He's cool." So he like pulls out this napkin and a pen, and he's like, "Well, can you sign this for me?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, buddy." And I asked him his name, and I wrote to this person. I don't want to say his name, and you keep it anonymous and stuff. And I was like, "From the Dead Fly Guys, aka Prude, thanks for listening to us. Much appreciated. Hope to see you at a show." And then I signed my name. This made the dude's day. It really did. Like, he was all excited. He was happy. He showed the lady he was with the autograph and stuff, and she's like, "Well, make sure you don't lose it. We'll hang it up when we go home." Well, while I was leaving, he was standing at the one register playing one of our songs from our first album.
Wait, on his iPad?
Yeah, he was playing it on his phone.
Oh, that's really cool.
He was playing Candy Heart Attack. And
Heart Attack seems to be one. that people-
apparently it's our single, but he was like all into it, man, and like it honestly made me really happy knowing that like we have a fan out there who
it only takes
who
one.
recognized us and stuff. It was actually really cool.
If one person enjoyed it,
Yeah.
There'll be many more. That's for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully.
But which of your next performances are you most looking forward to?
Looking forward to or most afraid of?
because I can answer that.
Yeah, we can all answer that one respectfully.
The Legion show.
We
that
look-
one's the.
We look forward to
Big
just
one.
about everything. But to be honest with it, that one has like these high stakes where you can get
This is
anxiety attacks just thinking about
this is like honestly our biggest.
trying to process all the things.
Right.
Because like no matter how many times you practice, at least it happens to me. I practice over and over, and then I completely forget what I'm playing sometimes
Right.
because of the nerves. So
And plus, this is like the first one we're playing at a actual bar. That's
Well, it's not the first time that we've played at like
well,
bar,
I want to say
but it's the
re-
first one that we're gonna get paid to do, and it's like our the first time we played for we just opened up for Craig Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I know
So
Craig.
At a hellhole.
yeah, we won't get into it. We just opened up, and you only get a half hour to 40 minutes. Where this time, we have 3 hours plus maybe a little bit. So it's kind of like it's not like a hop on the thing, go through 5 or 6 songs, then you're done. I mean, you have to be there for that prolonged period of time. So it's that's a little nerve wracking knowing that you're gonna have to be in that position or spotlight for that period of time, and it's all up to you. I mean, how about you, Tyler? Which one are you looking forward to?
Oh, definitely the bar show. Definitely that one.
I hope we get called back.
Yeah, hopefully we do, good enough that they call us back, because that would be great.
Because we're pretty cheap. I mean,
But we are really cheap. We are just a bunch of easy sluts. Oh, what's that? You want to play? You want us to play at in your garage? $40.
I'm there.
We just won't pay Tony that day.
What would you say your favorite track off this most recent album is?
mine.
All three. Like, what would your favorite track be off this new album?
Miss you.
I miss you too, Tony.
I don't know.
I'd have to say geriatric bands still suck.
That's about
It is.
the most pop. I guess I don't want to say pop, but it has like that. It sounds like the guitar part will goes like dun 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 bum 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 bum. So it kind of has like that up and down thing where I think if you were gonna dance to any of our songs, that one has like the most energy
Most
to kind
beat
of
to it
if you want
and
to hop
most
around
energy.
and do that kind of stuff. So
You wouldn't know it by the title that you could dance to it.
Yeah.
it's not like a slow dance type song. It's definitely like a mosh pit type of song.
It's kind of
It's like fun.
It's kind of like Foster the People's Pumped Up Kicks.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh God.
It's not exactly like that.
Let's not.
but no,
even-
it kind of has like the same like rhythm thing, like from what you were just describing, like the dun dun dun, or however the hell.
I think
Yeah,
Pumped
exactly.
Up. That Pumped Up Kicks is one of the dumbest fucking songs they've ever released.
That was like the
Plain and
only
simple.
song that just came to mind that was like kind of like something you could dance to, but you don't want to mosh to.
Right.
Because I would say Panic at the Disco, but then Josh would just look at me like, "Who's this Panic at the Party?" as he calls them.
Ah, man, what else can we...
But for mine, I don't really know. September 20th, I kind of like that one.
Yeah, I like that one too.
It's got a nice piano bridge to it.
It'll be interesting
It's
to...
a lot more complex.
It'll be
Yeah,
interesting
it's hard to
hear
figure
'em
bass
all,
on that for that.
for sure.
A lot of these like songs have like on that first album, I would have a rhythm track, and then there'd be a lead track, and then that'd be it as far as guitar. And then you'd put a bass and drum and vocals to it. Where it's like in this upcoming one, I'm just keep adding more guitar tracks, so it kind of becomes more of a fuller type sound. But there's a lot of things going on, so it's kind of scary to know how am I going to play that live and incorporate these 5 guitar tracks on just one guitar.
Yeah,
So
that's going to be...
I have
bit
to
of a
kind
challenge.
of like interweave the rhythm parts and then the lead and kind of find like a middle ground to set off on.
Yeah.
And it's really hard because we started. Well, I came up with this song idea. It's called "Cup of Joe,"
Okay.
and I don't know what it is, but
Well, a cup of Joe is usually coffee.
yeah, normally, but
No, you'd be surprised.
normally, you'd have no
Normally.
idea what kind of I don't know.
We just have like this weird
But he has-
obsession.
We have a
Yes,
weird
you-
obsession with Tony's family. I don't know.
We do.
He didn't want to give you tea and crumpets.
No, like we have like this.
Good eye,
weird-
mate.
We have. Good eye, mate. But no, we have like this.
We just had to get it out.
We have like this
Had to get
weird
our
obsession with
actions out.
Tony's family. Like me and Joe, me and Joe.
See?
Yeah, see what I
You're
mean?
Joe.
I can be Joe.
You're Joe.
Me and Josh, we'll sit.
Do you have a cigarette?
Yeah, no, sorry, Joe. But no, like me and Josh will be sitting there and we'll like text each other like these goofy ass little stories of like something weird that's happened, or like, the one I remember consistently was
Fan fiction?
No, not really, but like it's just like maybe 2 text messages and then we're just dying from laughter. But
We also have a song called "Wear a Coat" on this 3rd album.
but
when we release it.
but no, anyway, back to what I was
So
saying.
that just goes to confirm.
But yeah, back to what I was saying was the one
yellow
night me and
one.
Josh were walking. The one night me and Josh were walking up to my mom's house at like fucking what was that, 2 in the morning?
It was 1:32.
Yeah, like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and there's just this giant flock of crows that just came out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Well, a couple days go by, and me and him are still talking about this, and he's like, I bet Tony's brother was out there fighting the crows for a cigarette. I was like, what do you mean? He's
I
like,
really hope that that's what the song's about.
he's like, I bet there was like a situation where a crow had a pack of cigarettes, and his brother was like, give me the cigarette. Well, he beat the story went, he beat the shit out of a crow for a pack of smokes, just to turn out they were half crushed. And then we came out with one. Well, whenever he came up with the concept idea for the song "Cup of Joe," that it was all about basically Tony's brother, and just like the weird little adventures that we have him going through in our text messages.
But it can also be about coffee.
Yeah, but it could also be about
I
coffee.
like,
You
I like
don't
to
know.
have that.
Ambiguous.
Like "Miss You" could on the 2nd album could be like "I miss you," or it could be like "Miss" instead of like "Mrs." It could be like a I guess like a single type
Right.
thing. So it could be like "Miss You." So I like to kind of like screw around with the words to make
Wordplay.
to make it a little.
But yet you yell at me when I have a grammatical error on a text message.
Well, the thing is, when you do that type of stuff with your music, if you change it up here and there, ends up becoming almost like a completely different song, and essentially end up making 2 songs out of one.
Yeah, it's like a what the hell is I even gonna say? What the hell is creativity? Who knows?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What
No, and
It's just like that question that they always ask: how fast are we going? Relative to what?
Ooh, we're gonna get philosophical here.
that's the next song.
I'm just saying, what do you want me to compare it to?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
really.
to me, well, I'm just sitting here. I ain't moving. But apparently everything else is moving. So technically we're moving, but we don't feel it. So if a police officer ever asked you, do you know how fast you were going? Don't ever say to him, relative to what? Never tell him relative to what. You'll get in trouble.
We have merchandise out now too.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
tell us about the merchandise.
Okay.
That's all you, Josh, because you just now told me the other day we have pins and patches.
Yeah, I ordered
Well,
kind of
I'm
more.
already representing today.
I know.
Yeah, we have T-shirts. We've had those.
I got- They're plain. They're just white T-shirts, but it has the same design. And rather than me having to spray paint stuff on, I just had them professionally, screen printed on.
Nice. Yeah,
So-
because I do know spray paint's fading a bit.
It probably will after a while, and that's kind of why I figured, it's a lot more. I mean, I'm gonna have to charge just a little more money for them,
Right.
but in the long run, you're not gonna have some shitty T-shirt that after a couple
where
times through a washing machine,
where it
might
looks
fade.
like one of us has a black eye, and for
Yeah,
some
and-
reason I always come out looking like Eric Cartman from
You-
South Park.
You never know really what you were gonna get. and
Yeah.
that's what's kind of nice about those first edition, I guess we can call them. So each one was different in its own way.
Because
Well,
we never made one of the same.
this
'cause
time-
they were always something different. Like the first 3 T-shirts we made for us. I believe it was Tony's shirt. Josh had the black eye. For my shirt, it was Josh that had a blob over his one eye, so it looked like he had some kind of weird birth defect.
That's funny.
And then on Ron's shirt, right
Tony
now,
just looks like he's angry.
Yeah, Tony looks angry.
I really have the
and then on
angry eyes
mine,
going.
it looks like I'm a deer. On Ron's shirt right now, it looks like I'm a deer caught in the headlights because I don't have like the like I don't have
think
the
you got your head blown out right here.
Yeah. Tyler, I think you might be dead.
yeah, I think I actually did die on Ron's shirt, so that could be a mystery. And I know on mine I have like a black spot on the back, so it's like a little bullseye thing going on, which is actually kind of cool.
But other than that, we have stickers and buttons made up. I got patches and these hats, which I'll just sew those on. So we'll have hats.
And these all can be
What's up, Kat?
obtained from Facebook.
Well, it kind of depends. We don't have any of that stuff. I mean, I have stickers now. We're selling them for $1, and 15% goes towards funding for recording this second album. So I mean, you can get that, and you can get Moist Stuff, the CD, if you wanted that for right now. But I don't know. I think I might just debut all the other stuff April 7th. Yeah, we'll just because we're gonna have a merch table set up in there, so I think it'll be easier that way. But after that, you can, it'll probably just end up being me that'll sell them. I mean, I could probably give a couple things to some of the other guys, but
Sounds good.
you could probably, message the band profile or, get in contact with one of us three and, we'll set you up with.
And I'm pretty sure we can probably put that stuff on the website later on down the road as well.
We do have like a, I'm going to have to get on, edit it. We have the 44/Prude website, and there is a store section in there, so I haven't put anything up there, but I'm pretty sure, you could we'll probably have stuff on there where you can buy it as well.
I'll make it easy for the fans to buy whatever it is they want to buy.
Oh, absolutely, and especially since if we have fans who are, I noticed on our pages, I noticed this, and Josh noticed this as well. We have a lot of fans from Asia and stuff. Somehow, apparently
We're gonna be big in Asia.
Apparently, we're big in Asia. Well, apparently Tony's big in Asia because it's usually his videos. And
You usually end up getting found in another country before.
And just these weirdest places too.
Yeah.
Which I think it was cool, because one day we were just sitting there.
It's fascinating.
And we were just getting
System of a Down is one. It's just found from a weird place.
Yeah, because one day it was just me and Josh talking, and the next thing I see is I'm getting notifications crazy on the band page from people liking our videos and stuff like that. So I talked to Josh. I was like, "Do you want me to just send out a thing if they'll see if they'll like the page or not?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I sent out I hunted all of them down, and I was sending them links to the website, the page. They started liking it. We got about 20 people from Asia and stuff to like our page.
Might have been a little bit less than that.
It
Might
was
be like
I
10.
think it was right around that.
That's your future groupies, you
Yeah.
know.
Tony finally liked the page too.
Yeah, it was about time Tony liked the page.
Finally, I got.
I'm gonna go after them little Asian schoolgirls go over there.
Whoa.
That's our Asian tour.
We're not Sad
Coming up.
Hoshi.
We might be going to Warped Tour too.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
We still doing it?
Yeah. Well, I know. I'm down for that. You, on the other hand.
I don't care.
I was talking to the guy
I'll
in
have
the
to be
middle.
the one who probably drives.
I was
so.
talking to the guy in the middle.
So I was like, who?
You, hat boy.
That does sound like a good time.
I know me and Josh went 2015 to Warped Tour. That was pretty sick. I think it'd be cool if we had an opportunity to actually play at Warped Tour.
You need to get a little bit more popular though. But,
Well, yeah, I know, but still, I think that would be cool. That would be, I don't know. Ever since I was younger, I've always thought that would be something to do. Even if it was just to
Talk about
open
nerves,
for
oh
somebody
my
at Warped
God.
Tour.
Well, I
From
mean,
the Legion to Warped Tour.
some of those bands, I mean, if you're kind of lesser known, they give you a stage and you'll get like maybe, I don't know, 50 people, to come and stand around like that stage. And then there's other like the mainline, really popular bands that get like that, the huge like stage they have.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And
like at the...
there's like, you could probably fit thousands of people into that like,
Wow.
section. So it kind of just,
It's a nice mixture.
or we could be doing like these huge festivals with like, 100,000 people.
Yeah, seas,
Oh, you mean like-
seas of people.
You mean like Rock on the Range and stuff like that? Yeah.
The Reading Festival and
Yeah, Reading Festival would be a cool one. I think we should recreate Woodstock and just play there.
That'd be fun.
the 90s Woodstock with the mud.
Yeah.
Green Day.
the moshing.
Let me think here of something else I can ask you. What are your plans for your third album? I know this is more about your second album, but what do you got planned for the third one?
I don't know.
A lot of screeching.
Yeah, I think I made like a fake kind of like track list, and it's definitely, I don't know, like that first album, it kind of went all over the place, where you could have there's like an acoustic song with a harmonica on it,
Yeah.
and you're going to something that's like a little bit more harder, like with electric guitar, like something like Objection. Right.
Right.
Getting like into cleaner sounds. With the second one, I kind of like primarily I don't believe there's an acoustic guitar on the second one at all.
Right.
And I use like a lot of more of like synth sounds, so you're kind of getting that instrument played into it. So with the third one, I don't know, I'm kind of, I mean, we showed you the Cup of Joe thing.
Yeah.
That has an electric guitar. That's just pure electric guitar. But I'm thinking maybe, this third one, I might just use like either an acoustic guitar or just use guitars that have cleaner sounds to them. So it wouldn't be necessarily as distorted maybe.
Right.
And maybe I really like the sound of a cello. Like the
Oh,
So
that would be cool. Yeah.
with GarageBand, I can kind of set it up so I can use my MIDI like keyboard controller and come up with like these nifty little. So there might be more classical
Right.
music influences maybe, but I don't know. We just have that one thing, so I'm not exactly sure where.
Yeah.
Plus, I would really like to make the songwriting, less me and more them, maybe.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's my goal. I definitely want to contribute more to the songwriting on the third album.
Whereas now it's like, I sit there, think of something, come up with it, record like all the guitar tracks or something to it, to where almost like it's a completely finished type thing, and then it's just, okay, here, Tony, listen to it, you can come up with something. Or I feel like, if we could put more jam time in and kind of, come up with stuff, like not even think about it, just play whatever, comes to mind at that time
Right.
and kind of work on stuff that way. It might be a little bit.
The best stuff comes out that way, I think.
I would like to remember that note thing I had going on Josh's guitar the one day. Me and Josh were just hanging out at his house, and I was playing one of his guitars. Well, I picked up the electric one that was plugged in, and I just started playing these two notes, and it sounded like heavy, but it sounded great, and I was just hitting it hard. And I don't remember what it was, because as soon as I put the guitar down, I forgot. And I was like,
Yep.
fuck.
That happens.
I was like, I really wish I could remember that, because Josh even said that it sounded great. And I can't play the guitar for crap. You can ask
Me
these
either.
two.
Me either.
I'm lucky I can play the bongos. And again, that's just bap, 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 bap.
Let's see. What other questions can I give to you guys?
Got a new guitar.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Oh, God, I love that
Oh.
guitar. I'm going to kidnap it and make it my own.
What kind of guitar did you get?
Epiphone 335 Pro in the cherry red finish.
Yeah, you gotta get the cherry red.
I need to see that fucker. Bet you it's nice.
It's nice.
Yeah,
It stays in tune a lot better, and
That's good.
the strings are kind of a little bit more bendable and playable.
That's good.
It's-
I
I like the 335s.
After your tour this year, what is the next step for Prude?
Record.
Yeah.
Definitely
We'll
record.
probably
Record.
take time off. I don't know. We're still kind of open to places. So that's kind of like why I hope that this Legion thing kind of takes off, where we
Right.
can get back there maybe in June or something, or July, and then hopefully word of mouth spreads out some of these other places that hey, these guys aren't half bad and they don't charge very much. If
Right.
you need somebody, look into them.
Yeah,
kinda
well,
thing.
you hear what these people are saying, YouTube? Tell people, hey, these guys are awesome. We want them at our bar.
And we're cheap and easy, so yeah,
You say that an awful lot
I do.
in these interviews.
Because I'm an easy person, Ron.
We know.
So, I mean, yeah, definitely anybody that wants to
I feel
look up
dirty.
Prude, look them up on Facebook and find out their tour dates and all that happy horse shit.
So what's going on in the video game world?
Not much at the moment. I haven't. This will be the first video I have had out since November. Medical issues kind of put it off on hold for a little bit, but I plan on coming back with something big. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been a while since I've seen your post anything.
yeah, and me and you were supposed to get together in November to do
Kid Chameleon.
Kid Chameleon.
I
and
know that never happened.
No, I didn't get a chance to. All the health issues is kind of putting a damper on that for now. But that'll soon hopefully be taken care of when I get back into the swing of things,
Oh,
get things done. I
yeah.
have a huge project planned for my official return because I'm not considering this my official return. It's a return to interview you guys, basically. But
Something
is
to
not a
hold people off.
what's that?
So it's not something to hold people off for just a tiny little bit.
Yeah, because I do have a big project in mind, so
Yeah, because
ought to be pretty good.
I'm still looking forward to us doing Kid Chameleon. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, and I have it to be able to be played multiple times. I have it on a PS2 collection, I believe. I believe I have it on Xbox 360 collection. Plus, I have the Retro Pi, so
Oh, that's gonna
it's
be great.
got everything. So,
Said hopefully become as popular as Kate Witcher.
Oh God. Well,
I
it
love
could
her.
be worse. He could be like PewDiePie right now and just getting all kinds of flack.
what's he getting flack for?
Apparently,
Racism.
yeah, he made a video of these two dudes holding a "All Jews Must Die" sign or something like that, and he's getting flack like hardcore right now.
All I gotta say is good riddance to PewDiePie.
Oh, he's still around.
He
It's
annoys
just
the fuck out of me.
yeah. I used to be a subscriber to him whenever. This was a few years ago, and then I kind of just like fell out of watching his stuff. I started watching stuff like Game Grumps and everything
Yeah.
else.
What drives me nuts is the screaming and ridiculousness in his videos. Like every little sound, he's got to jump and act like a little idiot.
Well, I mean, Markiplier does the same thing, but the way Markiplier does it, it's like he doesn't try to go over the top
No.
with it.
PewDiePie, he's, I don't know.
Well, you know we were probably going to get some flack for this. But you know what I got to say to that?
I like James and Mike though. James and Mike Mondays.
Oh, yeah.
Cinemassacre.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yes. You know, I view it this way. If another YouTuber is going to get upset about comments we made, just don't watch it.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
Kate won't have a problem with it.
I actually started listening to a new band. Well, it's new to me, but they've been around for a couple years now. Ninja Sex Party.
I've heard
Oh,
of
is that
them.
the band that?
Yeah,
that-
it's
the new
Dan
guy from-
Avidan
yeah.
from Game Grumps and Ninja Brian from Game Grumps as well. It's their band.
That ought to be interesting.
Oh, it's great. Their most recent album, Attitude City, has got to be the best. Just the intro alone is it's funny. Like all of their albums are great. I think my favorite song from Attitude City would have to be Dragon Slayer. It's a good one, so I recommend checking that out if you guys already haven't. And I know the way Ron's looking at me right now, he's like, I must do this.
Check out Ed Hofer's band too. They're pretty good.
Yeah, Ed Hofer.
Ed Hofer.
Captain Genji.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar. I'd have to look it up.
Born in the Beanstalk.
What's that?
He's
Born in the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
Another good one that I was at recently was Rick Ramsey, and because he has forget what his drummer's name is, but Tim Hemmersky plays bass for them, and I took lessons off Tim. Now Tim is like a musical,
he's the musical prodigy.
He's a
of
genius,
Patton.
really,
Right.
because you pretty much give him whatever instrument and he can do it, and he's pretty damn good.
Yeah, Tim's like the musical prodigy of Patton. He's like
Much respect for Tim.
Yeah, I envy that ability.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else I can ask you about the album. And
We have a single out too.
yes,
Has
you
it?
have Vote for Tony.
Did you listen to it?
Tony's,
Yes, I did.
Tony's gonna make Prude great again.
What
Yeah, it's gonna make Prude great again.
Yep. We were kind of, slacking, in our, commercialism. But now that we have Tony making us go great again,
We're all set.
it was fun
But-
making fun of Donald Trump and
We
his
should
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
we
was.
should, you know
like-
how Donald Trump had the red hat that said "Make America
I
Great
was
Again"?
just thinking that.
We should make green hats. Say, Tony's gonna make Prude great again, or
I
something.
was
like
just
that.
thinking that, although.
Or make Prude
Make
great
Prude
again, and
great
just
again.
have a
Yeah,
picture
yeah.
of Tony on the beak.
Yeah, just picture that picture.
Yeah.
Plus,
God,
I think
I'd rock that hat.
Oh, dude, I would turn it into a beanie, dude. Oh, I would rock that.
I would definitely rock that.
Plus, I think we're gonna. I know we missed it with the merchandise stuff, but we're gonna have a. It's like a vote for Tony picture disc. It's gonna be limited to 100 copies. We're gonna sell them for $5, and it's just basically gonna include the 2 tracks from the digital download, like single "Vote for Tony."
Right.
Plus, you're gonna get like some extra remixes and some like weird monologue type stuff, and
Oh, the
Some-
Sheets interview.
there's like some stuff that's that we haven't released. Like
Right.
I had a songwriting course, and we had done this like Christmas mix, like
Oh
Christmas song. Well, I had done it, and we planned on putting out like a Christmas type thing, but it kind of didn't get
Fell through.
finished. So we're thinking about we'll probably put it out again for this holiday season.
That'd be cool.
But the one track, it was produced by Dave Villani, and he's like this big studio producer down in
Alright.
Altoona. So he ended up mixing it in what the hell do I want to call it? He mastering the song.
He's gonna
Okay.
make it
So-
sound all right.
It doesn't sound too bad, so I think I might
I watched that
release
movie
that
again.
specific mix to it.
Of
That might be
DNC.
on there. And I think there might be 1 or 2 demos to some songs that have been released or haven't been recorded
Right.
yet. So it's kind of like it's all over the place. You're gonna get like professional songs, and then there's gonna be some less demo, maybe a live song in there.
There you go.
So it's kind of, just something to off-put us until May or June, whenever we can get the second one out.
Some filler until you get there, basically.
Yeah, that's basically it.
And, well, I think by keeping it at, 100 copies, it kind of, hopefully we can sell 100 copies of it. But after that, I don't really plan on, releasing it after that. So it's kind of going to be more of like a collector's type item where,
Right.
if you look at some of these, bands, they kind of, wait to put out all their like demo stuff, and then it's released commercially.
Right.
Where this one here, if you want that particular, mix or that particular demo, the only way you can get it is on that one limited CD. So it's, I guess, more of a collector's item. It's not really like a,
Right.
hey, I got, this new EP by Prude. Because you'll be somewhat disappointed if you think it's going to be all like mastered studio songs.
Right.
So,
I mean, what you guys have done so far, you guys aren't doing too bad. Seems like you guys are starting to get a little more comfortable with doing everything. So
Slowly.
that shows actually between your first album and Vote for Tony, there's actually a pretty good difference in between how you started and how you are now. And I've told you in the last interview, it'll only get easier.
oh yeah.
Oh,
It just
absolutely.
takes time and effort. And
You first like start off, it's like
a lot of practice.
What the hell are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly.
And
Why
now
are we
it's
here
like-
again?
We're still like that, but we have a little bit more of a idea about, okay, this is what you have to do and how you should do it, and like marketing wise. I mean, we had like a promotional like film for like, it was, I guess, more like a commercial, but we put that out. I don't know, it's probably been a couple months. It's probably like really push that, but I'll probably wait till like April next month to kind of work on that and kind of really push it this time. Where last time it was like, hey, we have this, buy
Right.
it if you want to.
right.
I think now you have to be more adamant and really kind of annoy people.
You
kinda-
kind of, yeah. What you got to do is paste up flyers and put it all over people's Facebooks and
That's another
and
thing.
stuff.
I have those the flyers for the Legion.
Oh yeah.
I think if we have time after any practice or recording, we should probably
Try to get those passed around, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But I know it's like shit, I lost it. I forgot what I was gonna say. Having an old man moment.
Any other goings on in the band?
We're all single still.
Still single.
Still single. Still getting them chicks tested for STDs.
Yeah, I have this itch that will not go away.
You didn't have her tested.
Oh, you
very
didn't
well.
you didn't tell the whole world about your experience at the pub that one time.
I don't want to talk about
No.
that.
Oh, but we all want to hear about it.
No, that was awful.
But it sounds like it would be fucking
It-
epic.
We don't have to go into too much detail.
Okay,
but
thank God. So,
Okay, wait, before this, I need to go to the bathroom.
Tony's like, I'm out.
Tony's taking an intermission.
Mic drop.
Tony, I'll just tell the story while you're gone.
Pipe bomb.
hold on, we'll save it.
No, do it. Yeah, because I just got over this in therapy, right?
Well, what was really weird is she was there with some more of her friends at the Legion the one night, and she was kind of like, her one friend was kind of,
Trying to get
Really
up all
nasty.
over you.
yeah, well, not necessarily that, but it was trying to. And I figured out that if you ignore people long enough, they eventually go away. So
Usually.
Spot on.
you should look into that.
Yeah, I should totally do that.
I don't know. I'm kind of in like a complicated, thing right now, I guess.
Yeah, I know complication. I know complication quite well.
Should we talk about the falling out we had in the band?
Yeah, I don't think that's necessary.
Oh, why not?
I don't know.
Well, let's put it this way. There was a falling out, and I left for about a week. And then came back.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah.
Because he messaged me. He's like, I don't know if we're doing the interview. I was like, why? I said, Tony has some issues he needs to take
I mean,
care of.
Tyler.
Tyler has some issues.
Tony has issues too.
I was gonna say, I Tony
Tyler
now?
has issues he needs to take care of. So as of right now,
He's-
don't know his status. Don't know Tony's status if he's still doing this. So he's like, pretty much right now it's just me. I was like,
we
what the
started-
hell happened?
Well, I mentioned it with Tony like a couple months ago, and he
Yeah.
seemed like okay. But then after that, I kind of never really mentioned it
Yeah.
again, so I didn't know,
What are we talking about?
Oh, the falling
about this
out.
interview.
Oh yeah,
about the
yes,
interview
yes,
type
yes.
thing.
The falling out in the interview. So anyway, back to yeah.
Okay, we got our.
Great segue.
Great, yeah, great. Welcome back from the intermission.
However,
But no, it was the night Josh and I played at the pub, and there was this one lady there, and she was just straight up nasty and crazy. And she was like,
It's gonna get good.
she was like all over me, dude, and it was weird. Like I just got out of my relationship. I didn't want to be with anybody. I just wanted to go there, play music with Josh, have a drink, and leave. Didn't turn out that way.
Oh boy.
Usually I have the best pub stories.
Yeah.
like
Like
when we go to the pub, I mean, we go to the pub.
No, we go to the
Yeah,
pub and we
yeah.
have an adventure. But
Why the hell haven't I been to the pub?
We haven't been there.
We haven't been there in a
almost
while.
never
For
leave
some
the pub.
discussion there.
But yeah, like this one lady, she was like, she kept like touching like my arm and everything, and I was like, just leave me be. I was like, I'm just trying to have my drink, and I'm just trying to listen to the music. Well, she keeps following me around. I keep going outside, have a cigarette. She follows me outside, has a cigarette. And then at one point, this was so bad. She grabs a hold of me and just straight on sticks her tongue down my throat. I was like I was like freaking out. I was like, oh God, what do I do? What do I do? And so she stops and then she leaves and goes back inside. I'm sitting outside. I was like, what the hell just happened?
Oh yeah, and then,
Shock.
then she's asking me for like a ride home, and I had like all that
Yeah, and then,
equipment.
yeah,
in my
and then
car.
because we were loading up the car,
And-
and then she was like, well, can I get a ride home with you guys so we can go back to my place and party? I was like, dude, I looked at Josh. I was like, tell her no. I was like,
Oh
say no.
wow.
I was like, just
Wow.
say no.
That's awful.
Because we hardly have any room in that car with all that stuff. Tony's usually in the back, kind of like smushed in, hardly.
Cradling everything he can.
And then you still manage to forget shit.
That happened one time.
So what's your favorite movie, Tyler?
What's my favorite movie?
Yeah, well, 2016. What
Of
was
2016. Ooh,
it? Don't say Suicide Squad, please. Don't
I
say
was
Suicide
going
Squad.
to.
You wait.
Just
I
because.
liked Suicide Squad.
I didn't
Thank
see it.
you.
I never saw it. I just like
Was it?
ragging them about it.
It wasn't terrible.
The extended cut was so much better. I'm telling you that now.
I didn't care for Leto as Joker.
You take that back. I
No,
thought he did good.
I will not take that back. I don't think he makes a great Joker,
I think he did pretty good.
but she made a damn good Harley Quinn.
Oh God, yes. I'm not gonna argue that
You're
one.
gonna start praying.
She's, you know.
Oh yeah, she can rock them booty shorts. That's for damn sure. Anyway,
Who's that, Yoko?
No, not Yoko. That old hag's in a wheelchair. She broke her wing. She ain't gonna be in the next Jurassic Park movie. But I don't know. Like, I think Squad would have had to have been my favorite movie of 16. Because I don't remember what else came out in 2016.
Another connect. I'm trying to think.
There's that one movie that we all went to.
Which one? Sausage Party?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Oh, the Sausage Party was a good one. Yeah. Oh my God.
Was that Tarzan movie they came out with? Was that 2016?
I'm pretty
shot
sure
in
that was.
15, released in 16.
That was the one that had Alexander Skarsgård as Tarzan.
Yeah, and the chick who played Harley Quinn was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had to go back to find her.
Yeah.
That was an excellent movie. That's by far probably my favorite movie I've seen in 2016.
I started to watch it, but I really didn't sit through it. I just couldn't pay attention to it.
It starts out a little slow, but once they get friggin' moving, dude, it gets really, really good. Absolutely.
I recently just got back into watching the Boondock Saints 1 and 2. I love those movies.
What else can we talk about when it comes to Prude?
Zootopia came out in 2016. That was a great movie. I loved that one.
Still haven't seen it. My son
Tony
has
is
been...
in it. Did you know that?
Huh?
Yeah.
Tony's in it.
Tony's in it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He's a yak.
He runs he runs the nudist
The nudist yoga
Would I do anything
station.
But yeah,
What's funny though is when we were sitting there in that movie theater, and we go up
At 11
and
o'clock
it
at
just-
night.
It just pops up on the screen. I'm like, holy shit, there's Tony.
And then,
Even when I'm not with you, I'm with you guys.
well, no, because it started out like you first saw it, and I was like, Josh, does that look like somebody? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, holy shit, it's Tony! And the best part about it was there was only 3 of us in the movie theater at 11 o'clock at night watching Zootopia.
Oh, so it was just you three.
Yeah. There was just 3
And
of
what,
us in there.
Tommy Chong did the vocal.
Yeah, Tommy
to it.
Chong.
Tommy
Yeah, because we were
Chong.
talking
Like,
about that. I was
hey,
like, dude,
man.
that'd be great if
Hey,
Tommy
man.
Chong was the yak. And then we looked it up. I was like, holy shit, it is Tommy Chong.
Edge of 17 was another good movie that I liked.
What?
The Edge of 17.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
No,
Chick
you're
flick.
missing out. Made me cry. It was a tearjerker.
I don't cry. I'm a heartless, emotional
I
bastard.
probably already asked you, but do you have any plans set in stone yet for album 3?
I think the most we have is a cover album.
We have like an album artwork
Okay.
type thing. I don't know. If we can get the second one done up and recorded to release it like by the end of May, and we'll kind of, I mean, I think we're playing shows up till like the beginning part of August.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So then
go from there.
after that is pretty much done. If we can start, jamming and kind of figuring out, songs,
Right.
song ideas, and then get them recorded. It might be like about this time next year.
All right.
That one might be out. Maybe longer. It all kind of depends. But
Or keep me updated on that. That way I'm a little more prepared for next time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll be sure to let you know.
I am quite escaped for questions today. How's life in general?
Oh, you know.
Not bad. Not bad.
Oh, you know. It's going.
it's in Prude Blues if you listen to that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Basically.
It's all
yeah,
there.
You know what? That's a good point.
Yeah,
it's
just
all
listen
in
to Fruit
there.
Blues, it's all in there.
Just listen to it.
I mean,
Life is in there.
Tony's working at Dollar General.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tiny's still at Dollar General.
I'm a
You're
slave.
still at-
I'm a slave at Warfield.
I read that song and I was like, this is a great one.
Tyler, he's not doing anything.
I'm still unemployed.
He's not doing anything except for mowing grass.
Yep. He's mowing grass for money while he's unemployed. I know.
Practicing tattoos, so, yeah. We'll have to update that shit.
We're not updating it. It'll have to stay like that.
We'll make a remix.
Man, it works so much better when you have a list of things to ask.
Well, I think it's going well so far, so we got this.
Hey, Tyler, what's your view on Donald Trump being president?
You really want me to go down that road?
Yeah, well, let's talk about
Oh,
politics
boy.
now.
Are we gonna end up in a fist fight in my apartment?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just had fun making fun of his campaign slogan.
Yeah.
That's about
I mean, I got no beef that the fact that he's the president. I mean, I registered the vote, and I may or may not have voted for him. I'm neither
That
gonna
means he did.
Because Ron's looking at me right now like he wants to bash my brains in, Walking Dead style. Please don't hurt me with a bat. That looks like it would hurt. Negan,
I'm good.
I'm watching you. Stop it. You're freaking me out, man.
What's the point?
I mean, yeah, like, from what I'm hearing so far, he's doing an alright job. So, that's all I have to say about that.
I don't think he's done too bad so far. He's brought in a lot of jobs.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
We didn't have, and he wants to get rid of a lot of these stupid laws that don't even make sense.
Well, I heard, I think it was last night, that they finally pushed the bill to get rid of that Obamacare.
Where are we at?
Now
We'll wrap it up here soon.
what's that?
So we can wrap it up here.
Let's finish up with the politics, then I'll try to come up with one more question.
I think we're done with politics.
Discuss Walking Dead or something, for the love of God.
But I'll be honest, I'm a Trump supporter. I mean, who wants Hillary?
Yeah.
She wanted to do the exact same things that Obama wanted to do. The exact same things the presidents before Obama wanted to do. They're trying to make it a, what's that called, socialist state or something like that.
Yeah.
And Trump is trying to bring it back more towards the people.
Yeah, because then we also had Bernie Sanders running around saying everything's free. Everything's
Go Bernie.
free. Everything. We're going to take the money from Wall Street and put it in the colleges. Everything's free. Everything.
You need to feel the burn.
I don't want to feel the
Tyler.
burn. Why don't you get on the Trump train, Shirilla?
Everybody else seems to be. I mean,
Instead of ragging
the
on.
entire yard pretty much became.
Yeah,
I saw
Yeah,
that.
your whole yard was Trump.
I'm pretty sure your dad was doing like the Salem witch trials for Hillary Clinton. He was just missing the fire, and it would have been exact. That concerned me for a minute. I saw that. I was like, oh, we're going to have a fire in the front yard.
Tyler likes Rush now. Did you know that?
I don't like Rush now.
I don't know how I cannot like Rush.
I'm not a fan. Never have been.
No, you're not a fan. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm more of a fan now.
Right.
You're Tyler.
Yes.
You're
Exactly.
not a fan.
See, you understand me so well.
Awful.
Ron and I just had a moment.
Just one.
Just
Yeah,
a
what
little one.
was in like that one documentary with the, it was about Geddy Lee. And it's like the one bass player or something. His mom wouldn't let.
Yeah,
him play
the
with Geddy, so that's how Geddy Lee.
Oh,
became
yeah,
the
their
bass
first
player.
their first bass player wouldn't let him play with Rush because she didn't like him or something like that. So
Like that Getty boy or that Lee boy or something.
yeah, she didn't like him hanging out with that Lee boy.
I don't think his name's not really Getty Lee.
No, it's like Lee Stein or something like that. Because during the documentary, he's like, well, I didn't want to just be known as that Jew playing the bass.
I didn't want to be known as that Jew.
And I asked you each of your favorite song off the new album, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's why I wish I had a paper.
Go the opposite direction. Which one's the least?
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
picked-
Which one
I
do
don't- I
you
don't
like
have
the
a
least?
Favorite.
Rush.
I don't have one.
Because I
Josh
couldn't,
is thinking.
because I couldn't feel my fingers for like a half hour after doing that one.
Let you feel your fingers.
That sounded dirty.
Well, it could have been you couldn't feel your face.
Oh, that. Oh, yeah. Oh.
I hate that song. With a passion. It's like the worst song ever created.
So I was doing one of those little Facebook things the other day, and this is gonna have a spoiler for The Walking Dead, season 7,
Oh, yeah.
episode 1. You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
I don't think I've seen that far in.
Ooh boy. Let's just say there's an eye-popping experience.
I watched that scene and I have no idea what was going on.
A lot of stuff went down. That's what happened. But yeah, I got one of the characters who died on the show, and I was like, oh, well, this is just fantastic. And a friend of mine did the same thing, and he got Negan, so he sends me a message. He's like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to bash your brains in I was like,
Didn't you try that like 3 or 4 times to get
Negan?
what you wanted?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
for
tried,
crying out
3
loud.
times. First time I got somebody who died, then I got Daryl, and then I got Negan. And I was happy with Negan, so I didn't want to do it anymore.
So was there any real inspiration on this new album?
From music or just... Does it have to
From-
be like
Maybe
the
in
music
general?
part or...
It could be
lyrics?
anything, honestly.
No. Well, the one guy at the pub, Tyler's best friend, he was kind of an inspiration for. a
Oh,
couple
yeah,
tracks.
we're close friends, all right, let me tell you.
That whole not being taken serious type thing as far as like the clubs go. That's kind of where that inspiration is kind of like a lashing out
Right.
kind of thing.
Lashing out ain't the word for it.
Yeah,
So, like-
because usually when they do have bands in there, it coincides with that geriatric band one you were doing. You know, like you get these geriatric bands in there, and because of their age and everything, and they sound like ass.
Yeah, it's-
where we get a younger group in there, oh, we don't want you in here because you haven't put in your time, and then when you do get in there, you blow away everybody else, and I think that's exactly what it is. They
Well,
don't.
it is. It's like that catch-22. Like, you know,
And the owner don't like me.
they want, you know, people. Like this is what irritates me about it, is that I hear all the time about these like clubs that want, you know, different acts because this getting the same ones in all the time. I mean,
Right.
it's nice, you can kind of see them, but at the same time, you know, you become redundant with your music scene, and so they're always like, you know, oh, we need this act, and I'm like, yeah, well, you know, hook us up, you know, put it in there, and it's like, well, we don't
like your kind in here.
we don't, you know, need, you know, anybody, and it's like, okay, well, who exactly do you believe? I mean, I'm sure, you know, hiring the same people, and that's kind of another thing that irritates me is if you go to, like, you know, the clubs, not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm just pointing it out that a lot of these, like, the guys in the band are in, you know, they're not exactly, you know, old, but you're not seeing anybody in like their 20s, you know, or maybe even 30s, you know, playing these things. It's all on that other spectrum, and it's like, you know, just give us that one chance, you know. If you don't want to give us, you know, your going rate of, you know, let's say, I don't know, $100, you know,
Right.
we understand that, you know, we're new and we'll work down, and then as soon as, you know, we get in there a couple of times, you know, it'd be nice if we do, you know, end up drawing people and satisfying the needs that, you know, the money kind of would
Right.
go up. But I understand, you know, you have to start from somewhere and you can't be at the top
No.
all the time. So,
And in time, you know, if you keep perfecting your art style here, I think that eventually you guys are going to have a real good breakout album. Just, you got to really practice. And
It just takes time.
it'll be the greatest hits.
That's what'll break us out.
greatest hits. I mean, hits.
What about tits? What?
But he was all quiet over there until I mentioned tits.
I had a moment.
That's a pretty good idea, though, actually.
Tits.
The
Prude's
Prude's
greatest
album. The Prude's album will now go from lips to
To
pictures
tits.
of tits. And the album will be called Tits.
I approve of this.
First, we have the Lips album, then we have the Tits album.
We just start working our way
You're
down
a very
the female
prude
body
person.
analogy.
Yeah.
And it goes completely against the entire
Yeah.
meaning of
Yeah,
Prude
really.
It
being-
does. It does. Oh, that's hilarious.
It's ironic. You're perverts, but your name's Prude. You're welcome.
But other than that, I mean, you know, I think we are pretty much set for a greatest hits.
We should
album.
try to do a St. Patty's Day show. That'd be
Put out
That's
at
like
least
next
one,
week.
Yeah, exactly.
Put out at least one more album, and that way you have 3 albums to choose from when you do your greatest hits.
I don't know. I think, well, hell, it even like took like, you know, like the Foo Fighters, was it 15 years to put out a greatest hits record.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like, the more stuff that you put out, the more stuff you have to choose from as far as like greatest hits.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
That was like the Best of Bowie album. That didn't come out until like I think right after he died, and a lot of it was like stuff that was on his first albums, like his first few albums. Because I was listening to it, and some of the songs that were on there was like, I've never even heard of these, and I listened to Bowie. So, and I was looking into it, a lot of them from like his first EPs and albums and stuff like that. So it's definitely something that, to release the greatest hit, it's gonna take a while to get that discography, to pick, what songs we think should be on it.
It's also, I guess, pretty nice that, some of these bands that go on for like 20 or 30 years, after they like hang up.
Yeah, that's when their greatest hits albums end up coming out.
And it's kind of nice because you can go back, like with the Rush 40, like shows, how they like go back to like some of the lesser known like beginning type stuff and kind of incorporate that.
Right.
So it's more like of a, I don't know. I think box sets work a lot better than necessarily like greatest hits because it offers.
Yeah.
You can sit down and pretty much put out whatever you feel that you need.
What you mean, like how Weird Al's releasing that box set?
Oh yeah,
sometime this year,
I wanted to buy that. I don't even know if they have like that pre-order thing still going.
I think it is. I just saw something about it the other day.
I like his rendition of Taxman by the Beatles. Did you hear it?
No, I don't think I have.
Well, he made it Pac-Man, and it's him. It's him playing the accordion, like
And we're talking about Weird Al, right?
Yeah,
Weird Al.
Weird Al.
Good old Weird Al.
where he made fun of the Beatles song Taxman, and it's Pac-Man.
That's great. I have not heard that one yet.
There was actually the thing I was reading the other day was they were saying that it's still available for pre-order, and there's going
I
to
just
be.
don't have the money to put out for it.
Well, they have
thing.
different priced ones too.
I know, but it's still pretty expensive
Yeah.
if you consider it.
But I saw this one thing. It was like it was, I guess it's a picture of Weird. Yeah, it's a picture of Weird Al Yankovic, and he's like in saran wrap on a piece of foam, kind of like how when you buy meat from like a grocery store.
Yeah.
They have it saran wrapped. Well, it's Weird Al wrapped in plastic. It's like super creepy to look at, but it's also kind of funny because they said that will actually be the top of the case when you open it.
That's
And
funny.
it'll open up like an accordion. So all their albums are in there. And there's different pictures of Al throughout it. Like there's a picture of him from Foil. He's got the Foil hat on. And I think it's the photo of him actually getting injected by the FBI.
Oh my.
And chicken pot pie.
Chicken pot pie.
Is that actually gonna be released?
I think that's actually on there. Yeah.
Oh God, I've been waiting to hear
Paul
that
McCartney
forever.
wouldn't let him release it because he's
vegetarian
vegetarian.
at the time.
He still is, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he said he didn't have a problem with the song, but he just didn't like that it was about eating meat.
Chicken. Yeah.
So
he wouldn't let him make fun of Live and Let Die.
the last time you guys were here, I threw some gaming questions at you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, not counting your favorite game, because I believe yours was Kid Chameleon.
Yes.
Yours was a Pokemon game. Yours I don't remember.
Kingdom
His
Hearts.
was
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts. I thought so, but I wasn't 100% sure. Excluding those three games, if you were to be given one game to play while on a deserted island, what would that one game be? And it cannot be either one of the ones you guys chose as your favorite.
Oh, that is a good question.
Okay, I picked Kingdom Hearts.
I picked Kid the Chameleon. No. I think I'd pick Grand Theft Auto. Because you'd have a lot of variety.
Yeah.
I was gonna say which one. Yours would probably be 5.
San Andreas.
Oh, San Andreas.
San Andreas.
Ooh,
Yeah,
good
San
one.
Andreas.
I think mine would have to be Resident Evil 7.
I have not got to play that yet.
Dude, that is an anxiety attack around every quarter.
I can't wait to play that.
What is your preferred method to game?
Console and controller, the classic way.
Definitely console controller.
I like handheld, but there's just something about the console and controller sitting in front of a TV and
I
brings
think
back
it's,
memories.
Yeah, I think it's more. It's a lot easier to do console controller than it
Yeah.
would be the handheld because with the console controller you can basically you have more functionality with the controller, and it gives you that better hand-eye coordination than what a handheld would do. Because with a handheld, everything's a lot closer, so it's
Yep.
easier to make mistakes. But with a controller, you have more room to, mess around with it. You have more room to hit buttons in between, so you're not hitting the wrong button. Because I know with for example, the God of War games, the QuickTime events, it seemed like they were so much easier to do on the PlayStation 2 than they were on the PSP, because you had more space between each button with the controller than you did with the handheld. Because the handheld, they were like that far away from each other.
Yeah.
Josh, you want to say something?
He's thinking.
No, I don't really have
I
anything.
can see the smoke rolling out of his ears.
I'm in Prude, so.
All right, Tony. The Tony answer of the century. Tony, what do you
What's your
think?
favorite game? I'm in
Hey,
Prude.
Tony, what do you think of Prude?
I'm in Prude.
I am Prude. We could make a parody of Guardians of the Galaxy, and you could be Prude.
Yeah.
I am Prude.
Prude.
I am Prude.
I am Prude.
I am Prude.
I'm not.
You're a console gamer.
Yes.
You're a console gamer.
Can I go with the other two?
Console
We'll
gamer.
just all be the same.
I agree.
Yeah, because you do a lot of the
Screw the PC Master Race.
Yeah. Fuck you guys.
I mean, I don't play a lot of PC games. I limit myself pretty much to World of Warcraft. And I'll find, like, remakes. I found this remake the other day. It's the original Metroid 2 that was for Game Boy. Somebody remade it.
Oh, cool.
And it's pretty awesome. So I can get into PC gaming at times, but it's all usually retro type stuff.
Yeah, that's what I've been in the mood to play recently. Just all retro stuff.
I think the most retro game it's not really like retro per se, but it's got the retro style. Shovel Knight. It's got like the old like Nintendo style to it. And
8-bit.
yeah, it's the 8-bit side scroll dungeon adventure game.
Yeah, and on top of that, his down thrust with his shield, sword is clearly, the down attack on Zelda 2. You can find meat and walls just like you can in Castlevania.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this game has so many references to other games.
It's definitely like an homage to the classics.
For sure.
And the story alone for Shovel Knight is interesting.
Yeah.
You would think for a game like that, you don't really think it would have had a story, but the Yacht Club Games did a hell of a job with it. And I'm hoping they continue the story with like a possible Shovel Knight 2 or something. I think that would be great.
Are any of you playing anything as of right now that you're actually working on getting through?
Ninja Gaiden.
Which one?
The first one.
The Xbox version? Or
It's the NES one.
The NES one?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's oh my god.
Mine would have to be Resident Evil 7. I just got past the first boss battle without having an anxiety attack, so that's a plus for me.
okay, there you go. What about you, Josh?
Suspicious Minds, Rock Band.
What
was
That's a
that,
good choice.
Elvis?
Well, yeah, but what was the mode? That one?
Oh, Brutal Mode.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Oh, fun.
Brutal mode on Suspicious Minds.
Brutal. If you're not familiar with Brutal Mode, it's where they show you the first however many notes across the screen, and then it disappears. So all you see is just at the top of the bar, the notes you have to hit, and it goes
to start
like
you off,
quick.
and then you have to pretty much memorize the entire.
Yeah.
You have fun with that. You
The
have
one day,
fun with that.
yeah, the one day I was actually the first one to try it out on Suspicious Minds, and I was like, I'm gonna try brutal mode. As soon as the notes came flying, I was like, nope, I'm done. I dropped the guitar and I walked away. The song was still playing.
That's all.
Stop singing Elvis right now. Not now, Josh. Not now. And he, now the other two are doing it. Ron, you want to get in on this? Not that, you dirty
Want me to close
bastard. I'm watching you.
You're watching me.
What about that night we were playing Rock Band and I was singing Suspicious Minds? And it lined up perfectly with Elvis.
That's hilarious. Man, what else can I really ask you guys? What is the future of Prude?
We're done.
They're done.
After this is it.
It's just a brick wall.
Tony's gonna go in a spiraling depression of alcohol and heroin.
I'll help him.
I'm gonna blow
Thank you.
my head
I
off
appreciate
and-
the support.
You'll be the Courtney Love to his Kurt.
Too
God.
soon.
What do you mean too soon? It's been how many years?
Still
Still
too
too
soon.
soon. It's still.
It'll never be too soon.
I'm currently looking for Yoko. She can come to Patton.
Well, I mean, if you really are looking for Yoko, I
Yeah,
mean,
and get rushed signing an autograph and get shot. That a boy. Yeah, I read the other day that's actually why he got shot, was because he was signing that dude's autograph.
Well, the guy.
And
The guy
Yoko
was
rushed him.
insane.
Well, that and like Yoko rushed him and the autograph came out real bad.
And
And apparently
I
the
highly
dude got
doubt that
upset about
happened.
this.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, God. Yeah. He just.
He's
missed
like,
the
wait a
wrong
minute, this
person.
isn't right. He's like writing John. It's like John Lennon McCartney.
but yeah, I don't really think I have many more questions for you.
I was actually thinking of an idea of a video game that would be boss to be released. And I don't know if you're a fan of the franchise or not. I know Tony started getting into it, the Evil Dead franchise.
I've never played an Evil Dead franchise game.
Well, they had a couple for like the PlayStation and the Xbox, but like I'm talking like do a revamped version of the Evil Dead games where it's like a first-person horror game, kind of much like the new Resident Evil, but it's you'll be essentially Bruce Campbell's character.
I could actually see that.
I think
being
that
a
would
great
be
game, yeah.
even if it was like one of those VR things, like where you got the Oculus Rift and it was like you see it from Bruce
That'd
Campbell's
be
perspective.
No, imagine when you're possessed,
Oh, that would be interesting.
playing the game
And like
that way.
even if like you saw the Evil Dead movies, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Dead by Dawn when he has to cut his hand off.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be an interesting perspective to see from like the VR setup. You know, you see the hand turning and you have to reach for the chainsaw and you have to start it up and you just have to let it ride right through your wrist.
That'd be nuts.
I think that would be interesting. Wouldn't it? Because like you got to think with a lot of these VR things nowadays, they have porn for virtual reality.
Yeah.
Get out of here. And like I even seen like they have machines that help you like get off while you're watching VR porn, and it's just super weird. But
That's the future of
yeah, apparently.
VR
That's the
gaming.
future of Prude.
But no, I mean like
That'll be the death of the
that's your
human
answer.
race.
But I mean I think it would be cool to like have like an Evil Dead VR game or even just a regular Evil Dead first person perspective game for like the new consoles and stuff. I think that would be interesting.
No, that would definitely be interesting.
Well, Nick, is like I was playing Resident Evil 7. It definitely has like the Evil Dead feel to it. It definitely has like the homage to like the classic horror movies. Basically, anyone you can think of where you beat the hell out of somebody and they just don't die. It definitely has an interesting take on it. I don't know if you've seen much of Resident Evil 7.
No, I haven't seen any.
Yeah, it's basically they kind of wanted to do a throwback to the original Resident Evil, but they also wanted to bring in a new generation of players. Because Resident Evil's been going on for, 25 years now?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's been going
20,
for a while.
25 years now. And, they definitely took a different turn. There's unfortunately no zombies in this game, but they introduced a new kind of monster. You know how much, Resident Evil 4 had the guys with the vines coming out of their heads and
The Pelagas.
yeah, the Pelagas, and then RE5 had the what in the hell were they? The Mawahi or something
Like that, yeah.
and then Resident Evil 6 did do a throwback with the zombies for Leon's campaign, and the rest were like the same creatures from Resident Evil 5. Well, Resident Evil 7, it has these like mold creatures. Like they're like this black slimy tentacle mold thing. And I think that was like a really interesting way to change change the creature but kind of leave it as the same story. As
I
the
didn't know
originals.
that there weren't any zombies in it.
Oh yeah, there's no zombies in it at all. And
I'm fine with that.
They
As
made
long as they went back to their roots.
they honestly made the game a lot harder because bullets are very scarce in that game. On any difficulty you're playing as, because when I first started playing it, I was under easy mode because I wanted to have a nice feel to the game, and then I progressed over to normal because I changed the difficulty halfway through the game. I was like, I'm tired of playing on sissy mode. I'm gonna play on the big boy mode. Boy, did I regret that very quickly. It's a very interesting game. The storyline is really interesting. You play as this dude who's looking for his wife that's been missing for 3 years and finds out she's been at this manor in Louisiana. Well, the family who owns the manor has been possessed by this black mold. And later throughout the game, you learn what caused the black mold, how do you defeat it, and you basically just try to save yourself and your wife. But along the way, you run into different characters. Like there's this girl named Zoe. She helps you throughout the game. She tells you what to do, basically. And then you have to go against her family, Jacob, Marguerite, and her brother Lucas. And you shoot them sons of bitches and they don't die.
Awesome.
Well, there's actually a scene. This is kind of a spoiler, but it doesn't really give away much of the big main plot. At one point in the game, you have to kill Jacob, the father, by shooting him in the head. Well, you think he's dead. Well, after you leave the room, he comes back and follows you. And the way that they made this game, it is so detailed and it's so graphic and it's just beautiful. Like, if you're a morbid person, you're going to love this. It shows his brains and, there's a hole in his head. There's chunks of his head missing. And he just grabs a hold of you and he says, you think I'm that easy to kill or something like that? And he shoots himself. He takes the gun and he'll shoot himself. Well, then he just gets back up and chases after you with some kind of demonic pitchfork thing with circular saws on it.
That sounds pretty wicked.
It is definitely an interesting game. There's moments where you'll lose body parts and you can reattach them. I actually lost my leg to a shovel fight on there.
You lost a Shovel Knight.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like Shovel Knight, then I lost. And I had a chainsaw, so how much sense does that make? But, there's a battle that takes place in an attic, I believe it was. And you're fighting the father for, the 30th time in the game. And he takes a shovel and he stamps it down on your leg. And your leg just comes right off. And you actually have to reattach it. Or you can play the game with only one leg. But it makes it more challenging.
That's interesting.
What was the name of it again?
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
That's nuts.
It's definitely a brutal game.
Okay, so is there any closing statements you'd like to make? Any reminders you would like to make as well?
May it please the court.
Sure.
Okay, now as you have all seen, today we have had Tyler testify to the fact that we are in fact still a three-piece.
Yes.
We have heard Tony testify to the fact that,
You're still a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Love you, buddy.
and you have heard me testify to the fact that, we have a bunch of different shows, new merchandise, single,
music.
vote for Tony out. album hopefully coming out in May.
Show coming out or show
Coming up.
coming up in April.
We have a
And-
show coming out. We made a
Coming
show
out.
now.
And the single can actually be bought from your Facebook page, correct?
Facebook and iTunes
And iTunes.
and Amazon Music.
Okay. And that single gets you 2 songs, which
two
is
tracks. Yeah,
Tony's Vote for Tony and Tony's Binder,
Yeah, it's
That's correct,
The,
yep.
which is a
Tony's-
remix.
Yes.
So those will all be available
Tyler's
to
vocals out, my vocals in. That's
Oh wait, my
That's-
vocals are out of that one.
yeah. That
Thank
was the
God.
remix.
Oh, thank God.
So now all this stuff will be sellable. Stickers, T-shirts.
I have stickers right now, actually.
CDs.
But like I said, the stickers and the moist stuff CD,
We still have.
you can get those now. I mean, I'm still
Have a sticker.
still
You got
willing to
$1?
sell them. But everything else, like the buttons and all that other stuff, I've ordered it, but it hasn't
Been
come to me yet.
shipped
So
Right.
give it another 2 or 3 weeks probably, and we'll have a pretty nice merch table set up.
It'll help. That's for sure. If enough votes sells, throw it back into what you're doing and get better equipment. And
Oh, absolutely.
Tony needs a new bass guitar.
I'm desperately.
We should
in
start a
need.
GoFundMe
Yeah.
account for Tony to get a new bass.
We'll pass around a basket
Well,
for.
No,
when we,
because
when we go to the Legion, we'll go in there.
you'll make me
Tony
pass
need-
it out
Tony
like
needs
we
a
did
new-
before.
We'll get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, there we go.
What's Balake doing
I'll
that
do
day?
Probably working.
yeah.
He lives at work.
But I think that might be all the questions I have for you this time. Like I said, flew by the seat of my pants. Don't know how well it went this time, but
I think he went good.
It's always It's always
It's a
relaxed.
I think we covered everything.
What?
I think we covered everything as far as how the album layout is and all that. So I don't really have much else to ask you guys unless you guys have any questions.
Just remember to bring all your rotten produce and eggs.
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
rotten
Tomatoes
produce
and
eggs.
women.
Tomatoes are.
The women tested with H.
And women that aren't necessarily all that gross.
Well, yeah, get them tested for STDs. That's the best you can do.
put 'em
Or
all
else you'll
off
get the clap like Ron.
I've got the clap pen. I'm giving it to
You keep that shit over there.
It's too late.
Damn it,
I
Ron.
spit in your cup.
I knew it. Wait, how did
Thought
you
it
know which one?
tasted
Wait, how
funny.
did you know which one was mine?
I just know these things.
You bastard.
It's a Disney glasses.
Well, Tyler, have the clap. Stay tuned for the next episode
For the
of
next interview.
Wacky Adventures. Previously on.
Because I'm the Pac-Man.
Sound like a 1920s carnival announcer.
Right?
There we are.
Here we are on the next episode of Wacky Adventures.
Oh,
That
the
son of a bitch
humanity.
gave me the clap. Oh, the humanity.
Oh my.
Anyway, I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same. I think this tended to happen the last time
This
we were towards
escalates
the end.
quickly.
It escalates quick and very bad.
It gets
We're
out of hand very
bigger
fast, and we almost get kicked off the
Then
internet.
Jesus.
Stop doing that.
Jesus.
Jesus.
I see no Jesus.
The J-Man.
We're bigger than him.
That's a good
Wait,
closer.
wait.
Prude
Guys,
out.
are you the guys the reincarnation of the Beatles?
Yes.
Saying only 2 of them are dead, so how did that happen?
I mean, you
where's
got
the fourth?
Ringo over here.
I have 2 Beatles in me.
Oh, Tony. Oh.
Don't go around telling everybody that.
So, Tony, which 2 do you have in you?
No way I could have said that would have been.
Tony, answer me this.
Clean.
Which 2 do you have in you, and how does it feel?
George is up there somewhere.
Oh.
Lost up there.
Hare
What,
Krishna.
is George like Lemmy Winks from South Park?
Oh God.
He's looking for his wife,
Oh,
Patty
God.
Boyd.
Oh, my.
Patty!
I do believe
where
this
he goes
interview
in.
has gone down the shitter again and has deteriorated.
Will we ever climb out of it? Stay tuned.
Snow has been dreadful.
Oh my god.
George says it might cause a flood.
It may cause a flood once it warms.
This year I asked Santa for Eric's new album.
He said no. He got me this Bob Fella song.
He got me this 45 record called Like a Rolling Snowflake.
Oh, should we tell that story?
It was uneasy, Mummy.
Should we tell
She
that
was passed
story?
out underneath a tree and it smelled like, what, peppermint schnapps?
Peppermint schnapps and shame. But, that's a story we should tell real quick before we close this down. For our unreleased Christmas album that we had planned for Christmas of last year, this year, whatever the hell you want to call it, we did this letter from this basically a parody of Patty Boyd, because thanks to Josh, he
She's
has
funny.
it's funny because Josh has this book on Patty Boyd, and we were all hanging out at the basement the one day, and I was reading it to him. Well, the way I was reading it was I gave Patty like this high-pitched, scratchy British woman voice
With a Cockney accent.
and with a Cockney accent, and it's a little bit like, "Tim, mummy." Well, I had these two just geeking out. I thought Tony was gonna piss himself at this point.
Did a little.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. I'll never
Just
look
so
at
you know, it's all on YouTube.
I'll never look at you the same way again. But well, Josh decided that he was gonna come up to the house where I'm staying and record me doing this letter from Patty for the Christmas album. Well, about halfway through it, I was doing great until I seen that son of a bitch fall on the floor laughing.
I felt sorry because he was actually going to do it in one take.
This was like one take gold. And we got to the part where we talk about Patty Boyd's mother being an alcoholic who sold all of her presents for cigarettes and booze. For cigarettes and booze, mummy. But we got to right around that point because this was stuff that was just coming to me off the top of my head during this letter. And Josh just loses it. Like, he's trying not to laugh. I could see his face turning purple from holding in his laughter. And then he just falls on the ground. As soon as he did that, I lost it. You could just hear the cut of me laughing through the headphones. And it was just the best Patty Boy thing we could have accomplished.
That's hilarious.
Dear Mummy.
So you have new album coming out. You have a new tour set up, which you said starts in April.
April 7th.
April
Yep.
7th. And where's that at?
The Patton
Patent
Legion.
Legion.
So
Post
Patent
614.
So Patent Legion, post 614. What day is that?
It's Friday,
Yeah.
April 7th.
Friday. Okay, it's Friday, April 7th
9:30.
at 9:30 at the Patent Legion.
Yep.
And when's your next one?
After that, I think we were doing a
Is that the YouTube
Facebook
one?
Facebook Live.
Yeah,
Facebook
Facebook Live.
one.
I think it's like May 16th or something like that.
Well,
May
that's an idea.
16th. Okay. I'll try to keep that stuff on my calendar. Try to make it to one of them. And I highly encourage that any fan of Prude do the same. Go out, support these guys, check them out on YouTube. These guys just keep getting better and better. So
Slowly.
Well, we start mentally going insane more and more.
start.
It's worth.
Okay, well, I was already there,
Start.
Ron.
We know.
Shut up, Ron. I don't think I like you anymore.
No, you love me.
You know what? You can have your clap back. I don't want it.
I'll just give it right back.
I don't want it.
I'm gonna refund.
No
what I
clapsies
want.
back. No clapsies back. You know, people are gonna see this. They're gonna be like, "Why do you give him the clap?"
You know,
They'll be coming
shit
up to you in
happens.
Walmart now, Tyler.
Yeah.
I saw your video. You're the dead fly guy
You're
with the clap.
You're the dead fly with the clap. Yeah, let's not go around saying that too loud, huh?
Dead fly guy with the clap.
I got the clap and I'm giving it to
You
you.
said that
I got the
really
clap.
small.
So do you.
So, anyways, again, from left to right, we have Josh, we have Tony, and we have Tyler. The band Prude. Make sure you go and check out whatever music you can of theirs. It's rather easily found, I believe.
Oh,
yeah. Your first album was actually put up on YouTube, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So definitely look up Prude on YouTube. Go check out their first album. And hey,
And
maybe
remember, it's called
buy
Moist Stuff, not Moist Snuff.
Yeah, moist stuff, not snuff.
Stuff.
Since I tend to use the word snuff instead of stuff. Yeah.
The Dead Fly Guys.
Yeah, we're the Dead Fly Guys signing
Dead.
off.
Maybe that's what you should have named yourselves. The Dead Fly Guys.
Dead Fly Guys.
I was telling Josh that on the way over here. He was like, we should either
They were
come
just-
out. We should either change our name to the Dead Fly Guys or just make a song called the Dead
Kind
Fly
of do what the
Guys.
Beatles did with Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah.
where It was a fake band.
Yeah.
Billy Shears.
But alrighty, guys, we're going to wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed being interviewed
Thank you again, dude.
by
was-
the seat of my pants, literally.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
It was
honestly.
definitely fun, I will say that. Even though you gave me the clap and probably chlamydia.
Psycho killer.
Shit happens. I mean, it's part of life, man.
I'll be sure to see you in court.
Right after this interview.
Well, Rontro got a caught. Find out next time on.
Humanity.
Courtroom Z. Oh, man.
Alrighty.
But yeah.
Good night. Thank you.
This is Josh, Tony, Tyler, and me, Rontro, signing off. Drop the pipe bomb.